Hey, it's Microcosm, and we're back with some Sil-Q. For you guys, it's just been a few days, but for me it's been a little longer. I recorded a bunch of videos in advance, actually, because I knew that there was a big life event coming up, and my son was born last week. He's asleep now, in the other room, so I'm back to doing some recordings when I can. So that means a couple of things. One of them is I'm probably just going to do one recording a week until things settle down. I do have other projects that I like to work on and are important to me. So, and you know, I have to be very efficient with my time, more so than I used to. And the other thing is that you know, we're new parents, so not sleeping quite as well, and preoccupied with other things. So I think that means we're in a bit of danger here for this character. I'm hoping I don't, you know, come back after, you know, having that experience, and just get this character killed in the next couple of minutes. That would be pretty funny. But yeah, let's I guess let's just see what happens. It is nice to get back to some Sil, so let's have some fun. I was thinking about this character yesterday, thinking about getting back to doing another recording, and I was thinking about all the advantages we have and how I had talked about the idea of getting Lorien, how Song of Silence is a prerequisite, but also Song of Delvings, and I realized that I don't want to take Lorien on this character. Lorien it's super strong. I really want to do a heavy song build character, but I don't think we have enough experience to invest heavily enough in song to make Lorien as good as I want it to be. I think we have to be a bit more efficient, and I think the most efficient way, because basically, you know, you need to get the crown. As a pacifist, it's not as straightforward. You can't just knock the crown off. Well, you could try. I mean, it's not like you're going to kill Morgoth, but so you'd still be a pacifist if you hit him, but you know, that's probably going to get you killed, right? So you want to put him to sleep, ideally, and you need a way to do that. And I don't think we're doing that with Lorien, so we're going to do that with the staff. And thankfully, we have a lot of good staves. Staff of Slumber, 2 staves of Majesty. That's our advantage right now. That's what makes this character powerful, is those staves. So we're going to capitalize on that power. I want to take more stealth, and I'm going to keep an eye on that stealth. That's the next thing I'm going to do. But in order to capitalize on the power fully, we're going to get our will up to 6 points, and now our staves are going to be much more powerful. So the next 2 things we're going to do is first take stealth, like I said, very important. We need more stealth than we have. I'm reasonably comfortable with where we are, but pretty soon we need more. So we're going to add the stealth first, and then the next thing is we need Song of Staying. And I think this is going to have to be a bit of a long-term goal. So we're going to take Song of Staunching first, 1,000 experience, because it's a prerequisite. You can't take Song of Freedom. Song of Freedom would certainly be useful, but I like the idea of having that extra healing as a pacifist. I could sing Staunching while I'm running away and potentially get, you know, keep the character alive. Or when I do turn count speedruns, it's not too uncommon that I need to jump down a chasm. And I need to have a certain amount of health to be safe doing that, but I'm running from something. So I can like build up the health running through a hallway, get to the chasm and jump down if I'm singing Staunching. We'll consider it, but almost certainly we'll take Staunching. And then we'll take Staying, and that's really going to boost our power, because Staying gives you a will bonus equal to half your song score and 2d2 protection, which is, I mean, it's not better for a pacifist than it is for other characters, but it kind of counts for more because I don't have as much armor as a melee character would. So that 2d2 protection will be very useful. And that will bonus will be really useful. If you ever play like Sil Q 1.4.2, 1.4.1, Song of Staying gave you a will bonus equal to your song, not your song, not half your song, just straight up equal to your song. Super strong. And even being cut in half, it's still really strong. So we're going to invest in song, and we're going to invest in will. We're going to end up with a really powerful tool in the form of those staves. So we're not quite there yet, but hey, we're only at 500 feet. And, the way Sil works, it's not like 500 feet is halfway through the game, right? The later levels are longer. So we got a ways to go. There's a lot more experience in the second half of the game as well. Now, in the end of the last episode, we talked about these barrow wights. And I would love to have that potion of quickness. I'd love to know what that golden potion is and have that staff of freedom. However, I played a lot of roguelikes in my time, and I remember very distinctly a few times, particularly playing TCSS, where I had a great character, I was having a good time, and then I decided to just mess around and do something, something I didn't have to do. And I got my character killed. So we're not doing that. You only live once in a roguelike. So you gotta be careful with that one life that you have. Just like real life. And that's our philosophical moment for today. Okay. So we have to get back into the swing of playing Sil, like I said. So I'm going to drop those Mallow torches. We don't need so many Mallow torches. I want to free up some inventory space, and having a full one is nice. Let's check out this armor. Maybe it's light. 5 pounds. I think that is lighter. Oh yeah. So I actually rewatched the last episode to remember what the heck was going on. And we had said, let's put on the leather armor, let's put on the round shield, and let's take off the cloak. And then we put on the leather armor, we put on the round shield, and we never took off the cloak. So let's do that now. Take off the cloak, and we have 9.5 armor, which prevents us from taking that -1 stealth penalty of 10 points of armor. So we just gained a point of stealth there by remembering to do that. And we are going to pick up... let's drop the cloak for now. We're going to pick up the leather armor. We're going to put on this leather armor because it is slightly lighter. We'll drop this leather armor. We'll pick the cloak back up. And we're at 8.5, which unfortunately means if we put the cloak on, we'll be straight up at 10. So we would lose that point. Let's just let these wargs pass. One thing I noticed in the last video was that I say we're going to find wargs. It sounds like I'm saying we're going to find orcs. ORCS. What I'm saying is WARGS. Those very similar sounding words. So I wonder if that confused anyone. That's okay. So I remembered another thing is we have these 3 great herbs of terror. I had been keeping those because, again, when you eat them, they make you afraid, which means you can't attack, which we were never going to do anyway. And also, they make you fast. However, we don't need them as much anymore because we have sprinting. We have a potion of quickness as well if we need it, and also we have a bit more will power than we used to. Which means most likely we're just going to eat the herbs and nothing will happen. In fact, we might as well just eat them because they'll give us some satiation. So let's just eat them. So it did make us afraid. We'll eat the other one. We'll eat the other one, and hey, we'll be fast for a bit. Although actually, if you look at the message log, you feel nervous for a bit. Which means didn't work that time. Although I wonder, that could be just because we were already terrified. I don't know. My assumption is that means that we resisted the effect that time, though. I think we might put on this ring instead of the Ring of Evasion. Although the Ring of Evasion is, of course, really good, I would like to identify these other 2 rings. So I'm going to forego that extra evasion just for the moment until we identify the other rings. So how were we on this floor? We explored most of it. Let's just go explore the top part. Potions of Clarity, not that useful. I walked right into that warg, but he was asleep. Okay. Okay. Here we are. This is me. Pressing buttons a little fast, sort of forgetting how to play this character. Now, I was pressing buttons pretty fast last episode too, so I can't blame that on coming back after a while necessarily. But that's okay. We always have to sort of figure out, work our way through these types of situations. So I see several plans. The first one is to literally exchange places through the works, through the Easterling warriors, and down into this staircase. Obviously, I would get hit a few times. We have 7 evasion, 10 total effective evasion. And we have, or I can see it on this screen, on the left corner. Plus 10, 2 to 7. It's not that good. It's not that bad, but it's not that good. The other option is we do have these stabs. So, I mean, we just invested in willpower, and we can get out of situations by using our stabs. It's one of those things with roguelikes. I'm sure most people watching this know this, but you have to use your consumables, right? That's something that people who are new to roguelikes often need to learn. Just use them, because it's better to be alive than to be dead. And I have 22 charges of majesty. However, the other option is, I have sprinting. These guys are fast, but he's only going to get a couple hits before I start sprinting. I could go through here, come back here, come back around. So what I'm going to do is try this. And he already did his sort of sporadic beast movement, so he didn't follow me. Now I have to wheel, and this is gonna... Oh, interesting. I don't know if this ever even occurred to me. I could have, when I left that doorway that I just left, instead of going to the left, I could have gone left and down. If I'd gone left and down, I could have wheeled around slowly and kept my sprinting, because as long as you're going basically in the right direction, in the same direction as last turn, you get to keep your sprinting. However, in this case, I'm going to go up and to the left and then up and to the right. That's not close enough. I'm going to lose my sprinting. Yeah. I could have, made an arc. Oh, there is the work here. Okay. Let's not worry about that. Yeah, I had already forgotten about him. I could exchange places through him. Now I am going to be walking through the unknown. I think instead what I'm going to do is just use Majesty. Use Majesty. Use Majesty. Okay. Now this is a time when Vanish would be useful to make them forget about me. But I think they've already forgotten about me. Hiding in this room is not great, because there's no door, or there's no way to get to this door. I'm just taking a few turns. But there is this chasm. I think we might have to take the chasm. Yeah, I think we're gonna take the chasm. Okay, so we are definitely like on watch here. This is the type of thing where you get back to a character and get them killed by making brash decisions. So our Dragontooth Amulet is a Dragontooth Amulet of regen. That's good to know. That's basically the one I want. Oh, Sapphire Understanding. Sweet. We're gonna go here, close door, down. Let's go into the corner. There was a snow troll there, but I'm not too worried about snow trolls. Their perception's not high enough for them to see this character. Let's identify everything we can. And now, one thing that's positive about falling down that chasm is we are on a new level, so we got some experience. Now we got a Ring of Frost and Boglir's Bodyguard. So that's good because we can drop Boglir's Bodyguard. It's not good enough. We'll take a quick look at it in case anyone missed previous episodes. Resistance to stunning sustains your strength, increases your hunger. So not good enough for us. That means we can put back on our evasion ring, and we'll leave the Ring of Frost. That might come in handy. It can be more difficult to identify those types of rings sometimes, like Frost and Venoms, and if you're a pacifist, because you don't get hit as often. So that marks everything we own being identified. And we have 2,000 points of experience, so we're going to add to our stealth. Stealth experience is pretty costly for us. I just want to see if the troll can't be in this room. He must have gone down this hallway because he didn't open this door. And unless I missed him. I just don't want him to come from behind. We're taking it real slow. We'll sing Delvings. It's a little bit dangerous to sing Delvings sometimes if you're in a room that you can't see the whole room. Because by singing you're increasing your the amount of noise you're making. Like here, let's turn it off. Let's do some careful exploration. What was that? Oh, yeah, that was just that ring. So we found a staircase. So let's take a nice. I'm gonna pause the recording right now, in case you hear my son crying in the background. Okay, no worries. Just had to help him out a little bit there. And yeah, just so you know, my wife is taking care of him in the other room. So if you hear him cry or something, it's not like he's just sitting there or something. Okay, so we found this downstairs, and I'm very tempted to take it for that boost of experience that we've talked about. I think what I'm going to do is explore the area just around the staircase because it's nice and safe. And then we'll try to get that boost. I don't like this hallway, it's too long, so I'm just going to not go down there. It's a unique. He's sleeping. The fact that he's sleeping and he's also a humanoid unique rather than a beast like a warg or something, or a werewolf, means that I'm not too afraid, to be honest, about him seeing us. However, I'm afraid enough. I mean, it's one of those things like low likelihood, but big risk. There's a bat, twisted bat sleeping. That's a beast, but it's asleep. Also not a huge amount of damage. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Got some werewolves. They haven't seen me, so let's just wait. Okay, he did see me. Let's exchange places. And let's go down. Okay, so we took some damage, some bleeding Took some bleeding, but should be fine. Pale herb. Yeah, I think that was actually pretty interesting. That's a good example of how dangerous stairs can be. You're just hanging out on those stairs and you think you're safe, and then all of a sudden, there's werewolves. And you saw in like a single hit, he got us down to 15 health. In just a couple of hits, we would have died. So we have 2 pieces of dark bread, 1 piece of lembas. We're hungry. We're just gonna eat the lembas, even though you know, the thing about lembas, of course, is that it restores grace. So it's not just food. But I want to free up the inventory spot. Okay, let's use this off the floor. Herb of healing. Okay. And now we spent enough time on 650. I mean, our minimum depth is 450. Let's go back to 600. And let's have some nice safe exploration methods to find another upstairs, to compensate for the fact that we went down 100 feet to escape the wargs. So Sapphire Serpent, let's just step out of the way. That Rauco's not going to see us. Giant. We are going to see some new monsters, and that will give us some experience. So in a way, this will help us if we don't die. It'll give us a bit of a boost. Let's explore this room. There's something right next to me that's producing darkness. Let's find out what it is. Okay. That's a lurking horror. We don't want to have anything to do with any of the horrors. May attempt to terrify, which is fine. I just want to see, is this... I don't think it's a fast one. It's very quick to notice intruders. That's not good. Yeah, let's just stay away from it. Some of the horrors are a bigger deal than others. The darting horrors are a big deal because they're so fast that if they see you, you don't have a lot of time to work with to get out of their way. We have this Staff of Light. I'm gonna drop it. It's not providing us. Oh, you know, we have this Pale Herb that we haven't taken. For some reason, I thought we took the Pale Herb. It didn't identify. So we have the Staff of Revelations. Actually, we're gonna use it. Now is the time to use it. No upstairs on this side of the floor. The upstairs is all the way over there. Now we could re-roll the floor. But, you know, famous last words, I think we're going to be okay. Emerald Potion, let's get that. Okay, a little bit more crying. I'm going to stop it again. Okay, and we're back. I think I am going to leave those 2 cuts in where I mentioned them, just so you guys kind of have a feel for, you know, how this is going to go. There are going to be cuts like that. In the future, I'm not going to call attention to them. I'll just do the cut. So I don't think you probably want to hear about every time I stop recording to go do some kind of childcare activity. But just so you know, those things are probably happening in the background if I seem distracted all of a sudden. We just found a +3 Shadow Cloak. That is really good. It's also special. Now it didn't identify itself. Oh, we have a Staff of Understanding. So let's just look at the Shadow Cloak real quick. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, it just says it's not been identified. Well, in any case, I can just tell you that the Shadow Cloak is +3, which means +3 stealth, which is super good. Let's identify it, so let's use the Staff of Understanding. Winter's Chill, yeah, I was afraid of that. That's one of the, negative cloak egos. And it wouldn't identify just by putting it on. So, well, let's look at it now. Oh, okay. I thought it was +3 to stealth, improves your stealth by 2. So the 2 is the stealth score. The 3, I suppose, is just the evasion. Again, one of those little things that I suppose I hadn't paid attention to as much in the past. But it makes you vulnerable to cold. And the thing is, we have a ring of frost, right? Yeah. Resistance to fire. So vulnerability to cold is pretty detrimental. The thing is that we're probably going to see things with cold attacks well before they attack us. So one option that we have is just as soon as we see something with a cold attack, we take it off. Normally I wouldn't do something like this because that's a little risky. But having the extra stealth is so good, especially right now, that we might do it. We are going to see some of the Rauko. I think it's the ring Rauko or have the frost attacks. But it's not like they're fast, and it's not like they have high perception. This is someone who has a breath attack. Bite to freeze, may breathe frost. So let's just practice. Let's do some good practice. Let's take it off. This serpent's not going to see us, but again, let's just have good practice. Just for the sake of building a habit. Now, this Easterling spy might see us. It has high perception. I think what I might actually do, oddly enough, is go down this shaft. It's going to give us an experience boost. That was kind of like the intro. The spy walking past us. Herb of Rage. I'm just going to leave it. We don't have enough space in our inventory. Lembas, we will eat off the floor. And we're going to go down. Oh, this is an upshaft. Of course. Yeah. I'm going to attribute that to me having a bit of a fuzzy head right now. But that's even better. That means that we can go back to where we were, 500 feet. So now we've completely normalized the situation, and we're feeling better. And I feel a little bit better about my ability to continue playing this character. We've played a bit of Sil, we've gotten back into the swing of things. We've refrained from actually getting ourselves killed. A little bit risky there, but we're close to the stairs. Staff of Understanding. Now we have the sort of an embarrassment of riches. We have so many Staffs of Understanding. We will drop this Staff of Light and we'll pick up the Staff of Understanding. And we can sort of keep going where we left off. Just leave that bat in there. Leave them alone. We have 3,000 experience. So what do we do with that? Now, and a lantern. Well, that's exciting. With the 3,000 experience, I could take more stealth, but we did get that boost from the Shadow Cloak, which we forgot to put back on. So our stealth is now at an effective stealth of 14. There we go. We were singing Delpings, so it was -4 for the sound of the song. So 18. 13 points in stealth, 18 total. Now, when I do the turn count speed runs, I give myself 18 points into stealth with the 50,000 experience challenge. That means that 18 is kind of our goal, I would say. But it's quite possible that we'll never get there, because we'll quite possibly never get to 50,000 experience. This character is built different, but I'm just going to use that as a guideline. We're going to use the lantern, I think. And we're just going to keep the jewel as a backup. We're going to drop the Malorn torch, because now we have a lantern. We don't really need the torch so much. Let's identify this smoky potion. Potion of voice. The thing is, we need to have an open inventory spot so we can take this cloak on and off without dropping it. Is there anything that we have? We haven't done like a full review. Let's do a quick review. I don't want to spend too much time in my inventory. We're going to keep the shovel, even though we don't have strength. I really would like a Staff of Freedom. If we had a Staff of Freedom, we could get through Rebel. The Mallet Torch of True Sight is probably not helping us that much. Whoops. Blindness and hallucination. See invisible, but we have keen senses. Yeah, we'll drop the Mallet Torch. It's so unlikely to be useful. Let's use Staff of Understanding. It was an herb of sickness. That's good to know about. Give us a little bit of experience. Okay. And let's see. We would like to get that potion of Constitution. Those are always good to have. But this giant's being a little tricksy. I just want him to move there, yeah. Now if I move here, there's no way he'll step into me. If I pick it up, he might, so let's just move down. We got an herb. We are near a chasm, right? Or no, this is just an area where the light is being overshadowed by something dark. In this case, so we were talking about spending our experience. I think our stealth is okay right now because of the boost of the shadow cloak. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take something else from the will tree. We took a bit of additional will. Let's look at the oaths. So we can't take iron because we've already used upstairs. Oath of Iron is you can never use upstairs. You get +2 Constitution. Silence, we've already sung the song. Silence gives you +1 strength. And Mercy, without shedding blood of man or elf, +1 grace. +1 grace is very useful, but I don't think it's quite useful enough yet. We might end up taking this. Getting +1 grace it's pretty good. I mean, if you look at the song tree, grace is, right down at the bottom. Just like any of these skill points they're tough to come across. You can get them in equipment, you can get them right at the bottom of a skill tree, an ability tree, I mean. So you can't get too many. Taking that oath might be pretty good, but we're not going to do it quite yet because I have this fear that we're going to get we're going to be near something that creates darkness. We're going to bump into it. So we're going to take Inner Light. And we're going to try to add to our perception to get us closer to listen. We're so close to listen. We're gonna leave our perception at 7, even though it's a bit of a tough, like that's a bit of a intense investment. Perception will keep us from, you know, bumping into an invisible monster. So it'll keep us safer. You can see already that our light overpowered the light from the lurking horror because of inner light. And now we know to avoid it. So that's what I was looking for. Let's do a little bit of singing of delvings. Just regular daggers. Oh, and a forge. Let's make sure that this giant's not following us. Okay. Durin. It looks like there's a fair number of monsters in this forge room, and they're unlikely to leave. The giant and Durin might choose another point on the map to go to, but the spider is unlikely to do that. The spider is most likely just gonna sort of amble around where it stands, which means that forge would be difficult to use, which means we're just going to ignore it. In any case, it's not like we have mithril items, and what I was really hoping was to find a mithril item to make a Feanorian lamp, but that is not to be our fate yet. Okay, we're picking up a couple potions of quickness. That is extremely nice. And we can't clear this rubble because we're not strong enough. Let's just fall through a crumbled floor. How's that sound? I guess we weren't singing delvings. That might have revealed the false floor. Thankfully, we didn't die. We took 3d4 damage. I think we were at full health, though. I don't think we were gonna die. Let's let the giant pass. Let's do a little bit of singing. So we are now at 550. I'm okay with that. Let's stay at 550. Let's not do too much, you know, as I've said, too much stair scumming. I stepped right next to that giant. I just glanced away just for a second. Too much stair scumming is dangerous. Let's just explore this floor. There is a shaft here, so that provides us with an escape if we need to. Eat this off the floor. Now, I don't know how long this episode has gone for, if I'm being honest. Easterling Spy looks around. That means that his perception or his awareness was raised, or is in a higher level, which means he's more likely to see us. So I just wanted to get away from that situation. We found a new dagger. Let's check this out. That could be exciting. It's most likely not, actually. We've identified murder in Quivianen already, but we have so many charges of understanding. Let's do that thorny herb. That was visions. And let's do with the last charge, let's do the dagger. It was poison. We can go ahead and drop that and put back Quivianen. And we can use, or we can drop Staff of Understanding. Excellent. And I don't think we can take stealth yet. Gonna need more experience than that. Most likely the next thing I'll do is take stealth. You can't really it's tough to overdose on stealth, right? Ideally you have so much stealth that everything is just completely overwhelmed and has no chance of seeing you. You can just walk around the throne room with complete abandon. Hopefully the giant's not coming back. Okay. Okay. So this floor is... I'm feeling a little trapped on this floor. But it looks like it kind of opens up here. I think we're going to be okay. Let's use that. And let's be cautious. Looks like he's sort of just wandering there. Room full of orcs. Where's our nearest staircase? It's kind of far, but not too bad. Let's just explore a little bit here. And let's get out of there. That was enough exploring. Nothing especially interesting in that room. Nothing especially interesting on this whole floor. Alright, well, maybe that's not fair, but any more, I think. Like, we could go all the way over here, but that would take some... It would take some doing. Let's just re-roll the floor, I think. Whoa. Yeah, Archer, all of a sudden. Oh, yeah, okay. Makes sense. We tried to go up, but we're at our min depth, which is fine. No problem there. Let's identify this potion. Healing. Excellent. That does mean that our inventory is full, I believe. We're gonna drop this shovel. It's not doing anything for us. Can't even use it. It's just one of those things I carry around with this dream that someday it'll come in handy. We're really looking for... So, can we wear that? No, not really. It'd be nice to have some kind of gloves and some kind of boots. If we found like boots of softest tread, that'd be a huge boost for us. Shadow Cloak and boots of softest tread together would make me feel very safe. They're not unusual. I find them fairly often, so let's just stay away from that room. I can't get rid of that pig because we still have no source of freedom. Sometimes things like that, you know, they're not really like hindering you specifically, like that that pit there. But it just kind of, I mean, I could walk past it, but you know, be a little bit dangerous just in case something happened when I did that. And just sort of limiting my mobility around the level. Which is a bit of a an argument for taking Song of Freedom. In fact, yeah, I think that's one of those things I'm really just gonna have to ponder. Song of Freedom might not be a bad idea. Let's just go down. I think we're gonna be okay. You know, it prevent us from getting entranced, but we're not going to be really in battles with things that can get us entranced. But then if we do happen to be in one of those types of situations, it'll prevent us from dying, because getting entranced would most likely just straight up kill us. Okay, you know what we're going to do now? Oh, 8 points. Dang it. We are so close. We're going to go ahead and take it. It's so important that we get Listen. If we get Listen, I just stepped close to that. That's okay. If we get Listen, you know, we've talked about power levels. And basically the two sides, right? The ability to not be seen and the ability to mitigate situations where you are seen. Listen is going to be that not getting seen side of things. Because, oh man, very nerve-wracking. Just let him cut that corner. Doesn't seem like he's in a pack. Yeah, Listen's going to prevent us from getting seen because it's going to prevent us from stepping into things. And in fact, It's kind of interesting. I never really thought about it. It's, in a way, it's going to make our stealth better in a sort of abstract way. Because currently, right, I've mentioned the fact that no matter how good your stealth is, if you bump into something, it'll see you. So your stealth score is just part of the whole situation. But once we get listen, we really shouldn't have to bump into anything. And so our stealth score will be the most relevant deciding factor as to whether or not we get seen. Just a little bit afraid here. So it looks like those archers swapped places with these wargs and moved them into our way. So that means we have to come back around this way. Which is not a problem. There wasn't too much traffic. I'm kind of just waiting. We're so close to that 1,000 experience. And once we get listen, like, I might even, let's see, no, the recording is a little bit longer. We're just saying that we might even stop it there because that's sort of like a milestone, having Song of Delvings and listen. Special boots. That's very exciting. Boots of speed. Not exciting. So we already have sprinting. Brings us to 11 armor. We're gonna just drop them. Do we want to keep them just in the case? No, I think we're gonna drop them because they don't do much for us. They're just not good enough. 1d1 is not that useful. At some point I might do that switch where I decide it's time to go above 10 points of armor and just take the hit of 1 stealth. Later on in the game, it's not as big of a deal to take that hit, and the additional weight that you're given to add armor will increase your survivability enough for it to be worth it. Staff of Dismay is quite good. But let's take listen. Ooh, beautiful. Staff of Dismay, do we want that? So let's look at our staves. We have Sanctity. We need to have Sanctity, I think. Because the Staves of Understanding will run out of uses pretty soon. And then we won't be able to just identify items. Revelations is so useful, especially for pacifists. We can't get rid of it. Foes. We don't need foes so much because we have listen. Let's get rid of foes. Slumber, we have to keep Majesty. Lesser Jewel we're keeping. Normally I probably wouldn't, but we had that sort of scare earlier related to light sources. And now I don't have any interest in running out of light again on this character. We don't have, like, we're not, like, completely fine when it comes to light either. So we have the Brass Lantern with 3,000 turns and we don't have any additional fuel, so we might have to swap back to that, to the Lesser Jewel at some point. But we have Inner Light and we have a Dagger of Quevianen, so our light is actually pretty good. Now, I don't want this guy to see me. If he does see me, I should be able to use Majesty. Let's use Defender. This is kind of one of those situations, like, am I doing something stupid that I don't need to do? Oh, okay, he stepped away. No. Let's wait. Let's see if we can just outweight them. Stay away from them. At some point, they're probably going to be in it. Okay, if this spider sees this, then it's not as big of a deal. How much damage does it do? $2d11. It's unlikely to hit us. Yeah, misses us, yeah. Our evasion's plus 16. That was risky. I took the risk. It turned out okay. I don't feel too bad about it. They're just beasts. They're, you know, it wasn't like a horde of orcs or something. Okay. So let's see, we're at 550. Let's go down. Let's not push it any more than that. But I think we're okay at 600 feet. Now, the next thing. What is the next thing we want to spend experience on? I'm really feeling... I mean, we're doing pretty well. Yes, okay, werewolf goes up the stairs. We're doing pretty well as far as avoiding things. And our ability to get out of bad situations is also pretty good. As I said, you can never be too stealthy. You can never invest too much in stealth. But I think what's gonna help us not get seen to some extent, and especially help us avoid bad situations, is a stronger Song of Delvings. I think our Song of Delvings is not really helping us that much. And if we invest a little bit more into Song, it'll help us. And we need to invest into Song anyway. Because as I said, we need to take either Staunching or Freedom, and we need to take Staying by the end of the game. Now, we have this Staff of Freedom. Clarity, True Sight. We're gonna leave things the way they are right now. Having that Staff of Freedom is nice. I've been sort of talking about it for a bit, and now we have it. Let's let him pass. You can see we're seeing him very consistently, even if it's just a question mark. So that's very nice. Before, we were seeing him sometimes, but not every turn. So it's a lot more consistent. Yeah. We're kind of at this point, actually. I guess this is a little bit dangerous, but I kind of feel like this character is doing fine. Like, I think they're actually pretty good. Having all these abilities is like, this is what makes a stealth character. This is like what you build up towards. This is what you're trying to achieve to win the game, is to create this character. For me, for this type of stealth, to be clear. You know, a Lorien pacifist wouldn't play this way. Other players might not play this way, but this is very representative of how I tend to play stealth characters. Okay, do we want to keep exploring this floor? I think we will go left. We don't want to use a stair again. We're on a pretty good floor. I think this floor is pretty safe so far. So let's not sort of disturb a good thing that we have going for us. With 600 experience, we might be able to 1 point in Song. That's not enough. We need more than that. We're unlikely to get a lot of experience in the near future, unless we do dive a little bit further. And it is like, I feel like I'm back. Back in the saddle. I remember how to play Sil-Q. It took an entire video. We will re-roll. We'll just check these rooms. See if they have anything good. Let's look at these orcs. Oh, look at that. A little bit of experience. Not a whole lot because we've seen them before. It's worth mentioning. I used to think that, like this dude here, Othrod, we can see him because we have Listen. I used to think that gave you the experience, like the same experience as seeing a monster, but that is not true. Just hearing a monster is the same as seeing it from Staff of Foes. You get to see it, but you don't get the experience for seeing it. It doesn't count really. It'd be nice if it did, but it doesn't. So if you want to get the experience, you have to kind of like, sometimes the biggest one for me is one of the Balrogs. I actually don't remember because it's been a while, but one of them spawns with a group of friends. You know, we've mentioned that in the past, how some uniques spawn with a retinue. And one of them spawns with a bunch, like an assorted Rauko group. And often when I find that group as a pacifist, I'll just kind of like walk around near it, kind of spy on them a bit, and pick up a lot of sweet experience from them just by seeing them. We have so many staffs now. We kind of have this, like, again, this embarrassment of riches. Slumber is so pivotal to this build that we have to make sure we have enough of it. Okay, we do have enough inventory space. Okay. Yeah, because if we run out of slumber charges, by the time we're in the throne room, well, I mean, we just can't do that, basically. We would have to find another staff, because that's the only way that we have to get the crown. So I've been kind of using them, or I did one time. I used a few charges, and then afterwards I felt like I probably should have been a little bit more cautious. It's light, we don't need light. Shouldn't have stepped near that shadow spider, but he was sleeping. Where are the stairs? Up there. At this point, let's go down. No, sorry. We're at a different floor. Let's go to the left. Okay, let's avoid him. We're going to be seeing some greater werewolves soon. And when you start seeing greater werewolves, you're going to start seeing some unique werewolves. That's something to be careful about because they have high perception and they're fast, and they can also poison you. With the amount of health we have, getting poisoned is going to be deadly. Let's drop one of the staffs of slumber. Let's just pick up this great sword. This type of thing is a little bit silly. It's a little bit min-maxy, but I don't know. Let's just do it. Sometimes you find artifacts. Cursed, sorry. Enrages nearby creatures for one's attack. Cool. A little bit of experience for identifying it, and let's drop it. And we'll pick up the rest of our stuff. And let's pick up that slumber. Okay. And we're back. Most likely, I wouldn't have used that sort of in any case. But I don't know, maybe it could have been a Sil cutter, maybe it could have been a cool artifact that we could look at. It was worth doing. Now this is a good example where Sapphire Serpent, let's remember that we have this winter chill on. So getting seen by this is not a trivial thing. This is a big deal. Okay. Just a little bit of care and we're fine. And we're at 600. I would prefer to go down, actually. Let's go through here. Let's see if we can find another down staircase. And let's add to our song. Okay. How far is Delving's getting us? Not too good yet. Oh, Lantern of True Sight. Excellent, excellent. Let's drop that. Let's pick this up. Let's drop our current lantern. Or no, sorry, remove our current lantern. It overflowed, that's okay. Pick it up and then use the old lantern to fuel the new one. There we go. And we'll pick up Jewel. Sleeping Cat Warriors. Pretty near the stairs. Cat Warriors are tricky, but I'm feeling a little bit bold because I'm fast and the stairs are fairly close. This is a vault. One problem with vaults is that you can get kind of trapped because they often have so many monsters. I just wanted to see him. Encountering him is worth 140 experience. Let's leave the vault. We've been brazen enough. And yeah, now we're good. So we can't really go through the center there. Yeah, we avoided that. And let's go down. Unless... maybe just check out this last room. Is he sleeping? Yeah. Okay. Let's go down. We're at 650 feet, and the length for the episode is getting to be where I want to go ahead and stop. Bit of a strange episode, if I'm being honest. I don't think that's going to be too common. But yeah, this one had some getting back to it and having those interruptions. So apologize for that. I hope it wasn't too bad. We have a little bit of experience here. I think we will do the normal thing where we end up using it at the beginning of the next video. And now we have to decide if we want to keep this this jewel. We picked up a potion of elemental resistance. Normally that's not a huge deal for me because I'm assuming I'm not going to be in combat. If I have to quaff elemental resistance, then something has gone terribly wrong. However, because I have Winter's Chill on, I almost feel like I should keep the elemental resistance. We don't need the smoky potion of voice. Even though voice is going to come in really handy later, we don't need a lot of it. I don't think. We're not singing songs that require a long duration, like maybe slaying or something. I guess I'm trying to like find a natural stopping point. Potion of Grace. We actually do want that. The Potion of Grace is going to help us to use our staves in dire situations. I think we have too many potions. True Sight or Clarity, most likely. I don't think we need True Sight. We've already put a lot into Perception, and we have Keen Senses. Good thing we sidestepped that werewolf. I don't think we're ever going to use True Sight. We're just going to carry it around, and it's going to take up space. Yeah, I can tell. So, we encountered some werewolves earlier in the game. They were by themselves. Now we've started encountering werewolves in packs. So we're getting to that point where we might start seeing greater werewolves. Werewolf noticed us. As I mentioned, it's very unusual for them to notice you in a corner. Now, do we leave this for next week? I don't know if I can handle this. If I can handle leaving it. But I might want to do it just to just so I can think about what to do, because it may take some thought. I think we're going late already. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave it for next time. So that's a nice cliffhanger. That'll keep everyone excited to see the next video, even if it does take a week for it to come out. We'll have to see. We're gonna take some time, go nice and slow, and if the next video is 5 minutes, then we know what happens. So yeah, again, I guess a bit of an odd episode, but as always, appreciate you watching. I had a good time, and I'll see you next time.